Hello and welcome back to another installment of PokeFodder. In this video, I'm going to show you how I went from the base registry page of the Legends of Hogwarts Room of Requirement 5 to gold in the span of one community day. So make sure that you stick around to the end of today's video. But first I want to talk about this month's events, and it is another packed month of events here in Wizards Unite. The March Makeup Community Day event was the first of 5 different events that we are going to have in this game. So buckle up because it is going to be a fast and wild ride. Starting on Tuesday, we have the next Brilliant event. It is going to be the Quidditch Cup Brilliant event Part 1, and it is going to run from May 5th until May 12th. And as the name implies, you can expect to see things associated with the Quidditch Cup like Chaser, Angelina Johnson, and the Nimbus 2000. Make sure you are subscribed with the alert notifications turned on so that you will know when the video drops explaining where you can find every one of the foundables on this newest registry page. A few days after that, we are going to have the May Community Day event, and this one is going to be centered around Fortress Battles. With the addition of the new Night Bus feature, a Community Day centered around wizarding challenges could lead to amazing gains when it comes to red spellbooks. And that will be on May 16th. Then the following Tuesday on May 19th, we have the Quidditch Cup Brilliant event Part 2. The second part of the Brilliant event will last until May 26th. And to close out the month of May, we will have a Quidditch Wizarding Weekend. It will go from May 29th until June 1st. So far, the previous 2-day events that we've had in this game have been an amazing chance to finish out registry pages and gain lots of wizarding XP. I expect this event to be no different. Once again, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with the alert notifications turned on so you will be in the know when all the news on these events drops. And now let's talk about how I was able to go from the base registry page of the Legends of Hogwarts Room of Requirements 5 all the way up to Gold Prestige in one community day. If you've been following my channel for any length of time, you know that I'm not a grinder of games. I play them for entertainment. I play them probably more than the average person, but I'm not one of those hardcore grinders. But when I was doing the prep video for this particular community day, I was noticing it was lending itself to being one of those that you could really do some damage on one particular page if you went after it. So to test my theory, when I woke up Saturday morning, one of the first things I did is I ran a Tonic Fortrace detection potion just to see exactly how the spawns were going to be. You know, it's not unheard of for Niantic to say that spawns will be increased of a particular type or a particular foundable, but in actuality, the increase is not all that noticeable. If you participated in Community Day, then you know running a Tonic Fortrace detection potion spawned the 2 Severes, Fred and George Weasley, at a very accelerated rate. And after one potion, I already had those 2 fragments completed on the registry page. It was at that moment I said, today is the day to grind if there ever was one. And in fact, because I was getting so much wizarding XP off of these 2 particular foundables, I also set out with the goal of leveling up to level 40. And let me tell you, it definitely was a grind. More of a grind than I've ever put in on any particular game. But I did have a few things going for me. I had numerous silver keys saved up from previous events. I want to say it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 to 40. And while typically I would not recommend using silver keys on 1K port keys, on an event like this, I decided to make an exception. Another thing I had going in my favor is I have recently increased my spell energy capacity up to 245. That would actually play a big role in me being able to achieve these goals because, as you know, every single one of the foundables that was spawning on the map took numerous spell energies in order to secure. And the final thing that I had working in my favor is I have a spot that I can go where there are an abundance of natural spawns. Had I tried to do this just at my house or just right around the confines of my house, there's no way I could have reached these goals. Now, getting up to the gold page of the registry was going to take precise timing. Having already finished the special assignment for Community Day for the 2 severe foundables, I set out to my little watering hole to finish the special missions on the other 2 foundable fragments. And in doing so, that completed the first of the Dumbledore Army sign-up sheets. And just like that, the first page was Prestige on to Bronze. From there, I knew the sign-up sheets were going to be the limiting factor on how far I could prestige up throughout the entirety of the day. So I made sure to prioritize port keys and silver keys in order to open 10 at a time. This also helped me get to Wizarding level 40 because when timed with a Barufio's Brain Elixir, I could get double XP on all of these port keys. But that wasn't going to be enough in and of itself. I took a couple different trips down to this watering hole and I ran Tonic for Trace detection potions because the two Severes with the higher XP were spawning far more frequently. And I combined that with Barufio Brain Elixirs to take advantage of the increased gains in Wizarding XP. And the reason that having a spot where foundables spawn naturally was so crucial to this is because the Tonic for Trace detection potions didn't do anything to the other two fragments. So I needed the natural spawns of Angelina and Parvati in order to finish out those particular pages so they did not get left behind. But even that wasn't going to be enough because all of these foundables took numerous spell casts. For every time I had a foundable depart or get captured on the first spell cast, I had 2 or 3 that took 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 spell casts before they departed or I eventually freed them. And in many cases I would spend at least a minute, if not over 2 minutes, trying to free either Fred, and it was mostly Fred, or George from their confoundables. So I ended up having to make a couple of runs to fill up my spell energy to capacity. After that, I spent a couple of 1-hour sessions down at my local watering hole, always running Tonic for Trace detection potions alongside with Barufio Brain Elixirs, and making sure that I was staying on top of my port keys and when they were unlocking. And truth be told, I probably could have completely finished out this page, and I actually have seen some people on Twitter who went from base page to complete in just this one day. Because I did reach the gold page in plenty of time, I just didn't feel like grinding it out that much more, and it would have required an additional run on spell energy that I just wasn't willing to make. But I did make it up to the gold registry page long before I made it to wizarding level 40. So with about 40,000 XP still needed in order to reach level 40, I headed down to the watering hole for one last 30-minute little session before coming back home, running a Tonic for Trace detection potion with a Brain Elixir at the house to complete the day. All in all, it was really cool, but it was a lot of work in order to reach both of these goals. And I have to say that I kind of take exception to calling this community day a stay-at-home event because it just really wasn't. The event was great, and I'm not faulting the event at all, but when your Tonic for Trace detection is spawning the higher threat levels, that is going to take more spell energy in order to free. And when you're not really mobile, as in a stay-at-home event, collecting the required amount of spell energy to do such an event becomes extremely difficult. Additionally, if you live somewhere where natural spawns don't happen in abundance, like I do, then your sightings of Angelina and Parvati were greatly reduced from that of Fred and George. So while yes, a lot of accommodations were made for people who can't get out and play in a group as a normal community day would be, I definitely don't think that this was a stay-at-home event. I think stay local would be more appropriate, but that was just my experience. Let me know down in the comments section below, what was your experience for this March Makeup Community Day, and how close were you to being able to reach your goals that you set out? One final thing that I want to add is I feel like the May Community Day, because it is centered around fortress battles and wizarding challenges, outside of the spell energy restrictions, I feel like that is genuinely going to be a stay-at-home community day, and I fully expect to see a lot of people accumulate vast amounts of red spellbooks. That's all I got for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time.